Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. Wednesday. Yes, I have to keep looking at what day it is. Things have been really hectic here lately. So I'm just gonna jump into our what sold video. These are the items that sold over the course of September 8th through September 14th. So the second week of September. On Mercari, we made one sale, and that was this Knox Rose jacket. They sent an offer for $15, and I accepted. That was a grand total of $7.95 profit. Next was Poshmark, and as you know, I can't really get into the specific items because they changed the website for some reason where I can't just like right click and open in a new tab. But we sold these cat eyeglasses for $11. I'm trying to think. I think these might have been a relist. A pair of Chico's Travelers pants sold for 20. I tend to have pretty good luck on those, and they're easy to spot when you're going through the pants rack because they're all made out of that same material. A good keyword is slinky to put in there. Two Vermont Country Store items. One was this vintage, well, a lot of them are vintage, but it's a bed jacket, and these are all new without tags. All these Vermont Country Store items we get that sold for 25, and a two-piece men's pajama set sold for 20. This was a relist item. We'd had these up here for like at least a year, I think. They were some work shoes and they were new. We got them from Goodwill and they were Avenger work composite toe sneakers. I think they're like kind of like a steel toe shoe. Um and they were size 7 and they sold for $45. Again, that was relist. So that's something I was kind of messing around with. I think what like right before I went to the hospital to have the baby was doing a lot of relisting instead of listing new items. And I'm so glad that I did because that was an awesome sale. Next was this sleeveless Talbot's linen top, and it was a 12 petite, sold for $12. A pair of Torrid jeans sold for 19, and this was also a relist, a Victoria's Secret bra, and it was new with tags, and it sold for $25. I think it had gotten down to like 17 or something. With the price drops and it just wasn't selling, so I relisted at 25 and it sold. Our total Poshmark profit was $101.79. And now we'll move on to our three eBay items. We sold this Burberry top. It was listed for 40 and the person was sending me offers for like 20 and 25. And I finally just countered at 30 because I wanted it sold and they accepted. This Scream costume that I got when we were taking a vacation to the beach and we stopped at Goodwill and it had the mask and the dress and it sold for 30. And finally, this Lori Goldstein logo tunic top, and it sold for 12. Our total profit on eBay was $42.41, which brings our total profit to $152.10 for the second week of September. And I know you're probably thinking that's super low. That's like, what, a third or something of what we made in the first week. And it definitely is. So what I attribute that to was the first week of September, we had Labor Day sale going on. And then right towards the end, we had our baby day sale that we ran. And I was also right before that was the week right before we went to the hospital to have baby. And I was doing a lot of relisting and cross posting. And we got back from the hospital on the 8th. So the start of the week that I just did the comps for or the sales for, we had just gotten home from the hospital and I have not done like anything hardly for the store since we've gotten home. We've had a lot of health issues between me, new baby, and then my middle child. He went on Monday to the emergency room, and we're still having a lot of issues with him right now. So obviously the store has taken a back burner and that's okay because that's the great thing about this business is I haven't even hardly touched anything. I've pulled solds and that's it. I have this needs to be like my thumbnail. This and this. Is that it? Is there one more? That's it. All of these are like sold items. So all things that have sold, not even mentioning hard goods and like shoes and stuff. And that's usually what I have my little pile of envelopes, and then we will cross post and put more items in there. And I haven't even been doing cross posting because there have just been so many medical issues going on in our household in this last 1 week. It's insane. Week and a half now. So I'm not expecting this next week of sales to do too much better. Right now things are a little bit at a lull in the house, and so I'm probably going to try doing a little bit of cross posting once this video is over, and hope that maybe that little bit of activity in our stores will help things out. That's going to be on eBay and Mercari, and I did get a little bit of chance to like prep some items to maybe list on Poshmark this week if I can get a chance. But it's one of those things where family comes first. I'm sure you guys understand how that is. But I hope at least your guys' sales might be doing pretty well. I've been seeing a lot on Facebook about Q3 wrapping up and Q4 about to start, and a lot of people seeing an uptick in sales. Did put an order in for some new Poshmark Ground Advantage items to be shipped to me like about, I think it was 8 days ago, and I didn't receive a confirmation. So I resent the email last night to them because I saw some people mentioning if you don't get a notification or like a confirmation email to try again. So I did try again, still haven't received anything. But I know that they're really super busy, obviously, with all of the people, trying to put in requests for ground advantage supplies. So we're just taking it day by day, and maybe we'll get them, and maybe we'll have to call. I hear a lot of people are getting hung up on or having to wait on hold for like hours at a time and then getting hung up on. So obviously, with everything going on, we don't really have time for that. We're just reusing supplies or using the poly millers that we usually use for eBay and Mercari for our Poshmark items. It's not that big of a deal. They're pretty cheap. Let me know what you guys are doing for this switch in shipping service. All right, well, that's it for this video, and I will hopefully have a longer What Sold video next week. And I hope you guys are doing well, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.